guys, my name is Iyabo Ojo, and for those of you who have not heard about TeleDoc app, well, I am bringing it to you today. It's your one-go app that leads you straight to your favorite doctor. Yes, what does that mean? Well, this app has over 500 doctors who are specialists in different medical areas. All you have to do on this app is just to download it, register, and source for the right consultant. Now, everybody has that one thing that they would need to see a specialist for. Now, this app is that app for you. You don't have to stress yourself going to the hospital every time, wasting time on traffic. All you just have to do is just go on that app and search for the right doctor that meets your needs. Always remember that health is wealth.
Imagine a world where your dreams of starting a family become a reality. Here at St. Ives Specialist Hospital, we've made that dream come true for over 5,000 families who once felt hopeless after hearing impossible from countless doctors. We take pride in our stellar reputation for groundbreaking fertility success, exceptional medical care, and a warm family-first approach that envelopes you in comfort and support. Our journey began here at our head office in Ikeja, located at 12 Salvation Road, Okwebi. We've expanded our reach to the island. Come visit us at 6 Maitama Sule Street, Ikoyi for the same expert care in a calm, personalized environment. Festac family, we are here for you too. Drop by our location at number 165 Janet Fademi Basin Street, where family in Amu Ward Dolphin trust us for high-quality, accessible care tailored to their unique needs. If you're in Akowonjo, don't hesitate to swing by at 129 Akowonjo Road. We are proud to serve families throughout Alimosho, Egbeda, and the surrounding neighborhoods. And for our friends outside Lagos, we haven't forgotten you. In Abeokuta, you can find us at number 3 Olatunde Abudu Close, Panseke, providing comprehensive care to families in Ogun and beyond. With St. Ives, quality care is always within reach. Ready to take the next step? Booking a consultation is easy. Send a WhatsApp message to 070-3424-6413 or email us at info@stiiveshealthcare.com or download the TeleDoc app to schedule a video consultation from anywhere in the world today. Let's make your dream of parenthood a beautiful reality together at St. Ives.
What if the answer to your longest prayer is the hospital you've driven past for years? For over 29 years, that's exactly what St. Ives has been to thousands of Nigerians. The hospital where the family got pregnant, delivered safely, and got answers they couldn't find anywhere else. At St. Ives Specialist Hospital, we don't give false hope. We offer real care that has helped over 5,000 families start their journey, even after others said that it was impossible. If you have been trying to conceive for a year or more and nothing has worked, this is not the end of your story. From blocked tubes to low sperm counts, PCOS, and age-related fertility, we've helped couples overcome them with IVF, ICSI, egg donation, and so much more. And when you do get pregnant, your next prayer becomes, let it be a safe delivery. We are with you from your first test to when your baby arrives safely. If your baby needs extra care, our neonatal intensive care unit is fully equipped to handle every delicate cases. If your child falls ill, our pediatricians offer proper diagnosis, treatment, immunization, and growth tracking, not guesswork. Women's health, including heavy periods, fibroids, hormonal issues, we test and treat, we don't just manage. From fertility to family medicine, St. Ives is close by in Okwebi, Ikoyi, Festac, Akowonjo, and Abeokuta. To book a consultation, send a WhatsApp message to 07034246413 or email us at info@stiveshealthcare.com or download the TeleDoc app to speak with a doctor from anywhere in the world.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Please let me know in the comment section if you can see me and if you can hear me. My name is Kiki Okewale. I am so honored and grateful to be here today to be your host. I'd like to know in the comment section if you can hear me. Please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Good morning, Sylvester. Thank you so much for being here. So it means you definitely can hear me. All right, it's about time, guys. Super excited to be here. I can see you can see me. I can see you and hear you clearly. Awesome. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fertility Uncovered. Secrets every couple should know. If you're joining us live on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, we're so glad you're here. Please let us know in the comment section where you're joining us from. I definitely want to know where you're joining us from. Are you joining us from Nigeria or the diaspora? Would love to connect with you. My name again is Kiki Okewale, and I'll be your host for today's session. Thank you once again for being here. All right. Today's conversation is very, very important. I'm sure you know how important it is, and that's exactly why you are here. Awesome. I can see from Nigeria, Good morning to you as well from Nigeria, joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Awesome. I know the time is not very favorable to a lot of people with different time zones, but they're going to catch up on the replay. Yes, we are from Nigeria. So I'm just putting on the screen so you can see the location different people are joining us from. We have United Kingdom. Good morning. Afolashade, thank you very much. Good morning. We are from Ogun State. Yes, awesome. I'm excited. I'm so excited. So we have so many people joining from the UK, from Nigeria, and we're waiting. Good morning, Murenike from the UK as well. Awesome, awesome. This is very interesting. Thank you so much for being here. Today's conversation is very, very important because for many couples, fertility is surrounded by silence, by myth, fear, and misinformation. And that is why it's very important that we have such webinars as this. At St. Ives Specialist Hospital, we see this every day. Couples struggling quietly, questions unanswered, hope slowly fading away. Not because solutions don't exist, but because people don't always have the right information. That's why we created this webinar for you. What is the purpose of this webinar today? Just so you have a little overview, why St. Ives? Why this webinar? Because I've had a couple of people ask me, all right, so why this webinar? St. Ives Specialist Hospital is a consultant-led, technology-driven healthcare institution with a strong focus on women's health, family health, and fertility care. Over the years, over the years, we've worked closely with individuals and couples on their fertility journey. From diagnosis to treatment to success stories. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them. This inspires hope. And so this webinar is part of our commitment to education, part of our commitment to transparency, part of our commitment to our patients and to empower people with the right knowledge. Because we believe that when people understand their bodies, when people understand their options, they can make better and more confident decisions. That's right, right? Are you agreeing with me right now? Because I am so excited to be here. All right, so why the theme? It's a new year. Why the theme? We chose the theme after various, questions, reaching out, trying to know exactly where people are and exactly what they need at this very point in time. So we chose the theme Fertility Uncovered very intentionally because fertility shouldn't feel like mystery. Today, we will be uncovering it. We're going to be opening the veil. Today, we will be uncovering common fertility myths that Nigerians still believe. We'll be uncovering the realities of fertility challenges for both men and women. We'll be uncovering IVF and assisted reproductive options. A lot of people think it's only IVF that's available as an option. Today, we'll be uncovering that. We'll also be uncovering the practical, honest advice for couples that are trying to conceive. Nothing is off limits today. Nothing is going to be sugar-coated. And most importantly, no one is going to be judged here. Yes, this is a safe space. Whether you're just starting your fertility journey, already exploring treatment options, or simply seeking clarity, today's session is here for you. You received the link, right? So please share it with as many people as possible. Now, let me quickly walk you through what today is going to be like. Just a quick overview. Each of our speakers will have 15 minutes to share insights from their professional or personal perspective, right? After each session, we'll take questions minimally because we have Q&A sessions. So we would really love to keep it up until the end so that we can take all your questions. As soon as each speaker speaks, please go ahead and drop your questions. We're going to be collating all the questions, right? So we're going to be taking Q&A. We'll have short 60-second commercial break in between the session just for you to catch your breath, okay? And make sure you stay with us till the very end because we're going to be dishing out information and things that you really need to know. All right, so without taking our time, it's time for us to get started. I'm going to be starting with our first speaker. And so I will be sharing his details and his bio with you so you know who you are listening to. All right?
Experience, Dr. Scott has supported countless couples through fertility questions, challenges, and our speaker is Dr. Ayambode Olufemi Scott, a highly respected consultant in obstetrics and gynecology, with a deep passion for helping couples truly understand their fertility journey. With years of hands-on clinical experience, Dr. Scott has supported countless couples through fertility questions, challenges, and life-changing decisions, always with clarity, compassion, and evidence-based care. He is known for breaking down complex medical information, debunking long-held fertility myths, and empowering couples with the right knowledge at the right time. During this webinar, Dr. Scott will be sharing expert insights on fertility myths versus medical facts, male and female fertility challenges, the IVF process, including timelines and expectations, and most importantly, when couples should seek medical help. Please join us as we welcome Dr. Ayambode Olufemi Scott for an honest, practical, and empowering conversation on fertility.
All right. Good morning, Dr. Ayambode. Thank you so very much for being here. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Awesome. I can hear you loud and clear. I would be going backstage, so you have the floor. When you see me upstage, it means you have just 1 minute to go. When you see me back upstage, it means you need to round up. You have 1 minute to go. So you have exactly 15 minutes. Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you for having me on the call. We are to talk about the topic Fertility Uncovered, the secret every couple needs to understand to navigate their journey through the process of achieving conception. So I'm just going to be talking basically in a brief manner, but that which can be comprehended by every couple listening to us right now. Just to let us know that the journey to parenthood is associated with much aspiration, and in a few population, it could be unexpectedly challenging for a few. And why is this? Because the journey to conception, achieving pregnancy, involve a lot of intricacies underlying each. And then these critical factors, there are critical factors that can actually influence the fertility potential of every couple. But understanding how conception comes about in its basic concept can help couples to understand red flags that should prompt them to seek help whenever needed. There are practicable lifestyle choices that all of us make every day of our life that we need also to consider, because most of this has the tendency to promote the individual's reproductive health. And at the same time, there are some practicable lifestyle choices that couples make that can also mar their fertility potential. So all this needs to be understood. Common conditions that can impact conception, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about the red flags that should prompt every couple to seek consultation. And I'll quickly talk about the overview of possible fertility solution that is also available within our environment. Just to start, I also want to say that there are also emotional landscapes that are also associated with journey of, fertility, with journey of conception. And it is very important for every couple also to know that there are coping measures which they can adopt for them to be able to navigate their journey and achieve what they want. So most importantly, in this webinar, we want to provide every individual couple adequate information on how to navigate their unique fertility voyage with optimism and confidence. So I will start by talking about the basics underlying conception, or the fundamental basics that underlines achieving pregnancy between a couple. How is pregnancy achieved? We must understand, in the world of divinity, we talk about it as being a miracle. But in science and medicine, we talk about coordinated processes, biological processes involving, few major intricacies, which involves a health oocyte, that is the egg from an elderly female, interacting with a healthy sperm cell from a male, yielding an embryo, which proceed on to form fetus and eventually a full-grown, baby that is expected to be delivered live. And then what are the major things we ought to know? For a woman to produce a viable egg, of course, something is key. The ovulatory cycle has to be what? Has to be regular. This is the process that involves the process of maturation of follicles in the ovary of every woman that gives rise to an ovulated egg. And this is picked up within the fallopian tube, is picked up into the fallopian tube, where it waits patiently for a phibosperm to look for it and get united with it and then form an embryo. That means the reproductive tract is very important for every couple to achieve pregnancy. This reproductive tract has to be very intact. There has to be a thoroughfare right from where sperm that is ejaculated within the vagina will lead to some biochemical reactions that could allow the sperm to travel from the vagina into the endocervical canal, into the uterus, and eventually from the ostium, that is the exit point where the fallopian tube exits into the uterus. The sperm should be able to locate this area, go into the fallopian tube, unite with the egg, and form a viable embryo that is capable of onward development. In every female, the ovulation of a matured egg occurs every month. We're going to be talking about other challenges that may not make a woman to be able to achieve this, and therefore resulting into what we call infertility. So these key factors in the females, there has to be well-coordinated ovulatory cycle, and this is ensured by a well-coordinated hormonal interplay. That is the hormones that prompt the maturation of this follicle and eventually ovulation of the egg has to be intact in every female. And I talked about this earlier, that also the reproductive tract needs to be what? Intact in its integrity. There must not be any blockage so that there will be a thoroughfare for a spermatozoid to travel and unite with the egg. The overall health of every female has to be ensured, just like that of the male partner also. So I'm going to be talking about common concerns briefly that can lead to inability of a female individual to achieve conception with his male partner. First, that we must take very serious is the age. The age is related to the ovarian function of every woman. And when we talk about the ovarian function or ovarian reserve of every woman, we are talking about the number or the quantity and the quality of the eggs that are in the ovary of every woman. I must make it well understood at this juncture that every girl child, when conceived in a mother's womb, has a predetermined number of follicles. They don't increase in size, but rather cohorts of a number is recruited every month when this girl child develops to a maturity stage, which we call menarche. And the number of cohorts that are recruited at every, ovulatory cycle, only one wins the race. The other does not return to the pool. So what does this mean? For every cycle of ovulation that occurs, the quantity of oocytes within every woman's ovary also reduces in number. So as the age advances, the quality or the ovarian reserve of every woman also declines. So it is very important that the clock that ticks about every woman's fertility is about her age. And every decision that needs to be made to help this woman should revolve around her age. That is very important. And for every man that's listening to me on this call, we must never be selfish. When your fertility specialist is telling you that certain steps need to be taken, with every promptness, we are looking at the woman's age. We should not be selfish. We should be supportive when this call comes up. In optimal health, every woman enjoys good ovarian reserve, good quality number of eggs and number within their ovary up to the age of 30 years. By the age of 30 years, decline starts gradually up to 35 years of age. And after 35 years of age, I want to tell you the rate of decline of the quality and the quantity of follicles that translate into quality and quantity oocytes in the ovary of every woman sharply declines. By the time a woman is getting to the age of 40, this decline becomes so significant that a woman would definitely need an assistance, and if not even a third-party, assistance in the concept of third-party assisted reproductive, technology to achieve conception. So, understanding that age is an important factor relating to the ovarian sufficiency of every woman, it can never be, overlooked when talking about the fertility potential of every woman. Ovulatory disorders like polycystic ovarian syndrome, hyperprolactinemia also can impact greatly the fertility potential of every woman. And most of these women, what do they present with? They present with, fewer menstrual cycle per year. Why does this happen? It's just because it takes a woman who ovulates every month to see a menstrual cycle. So menstrual cycle, not regular, not being seen every month, could be a red flag that a woman needs to seek assistance. A woman seeing breast milk associated with the fact that one of our hormones, which is called prolactin, can be raised and can be counterproductive as relating to this hormone hindering our ability to ovulate a viable egg, is also a condition that can impact the fertility of a woman. I've talked earlier about the intactness of the reproductive tract of a woman, and this I see a lot as a minimal access surgeon, especially in gynecological practice. Let's picture it from the vagina. All these abnormalities can be as a result of birth defect or as an acquired mishap. Birth defect, some are born without a thorough vaginal canal. What do I mean? We call something vaginal atresia, in which parts of the vagina is not just there to a woman with ability to have intercourse. And therefore, there is no thoroughfare that leads into the endocervical canal, which leads into the endometrial canal, and then to the fallopian tube. This creates inability of a woman to initiate coitus that can impact her fertility potential. In some cases, we can have normal vaginal canal, but in this woman lack what is called the cervix. The cervix don't just develop. It is a form of birth defect. In some, you can have non-developmental of either the cervix and even the uterus, while the fallopian tubes will be there and the ovary will be there. These are what we call birth defects that does not make the reproductive tract of a woman complete and useful for their reproductive potential to be intact. In some conditions whereby some people seek traditional treatment for conditions like uterine fibroid, abnormal uterine bleeding, and like others, a lot of our women in this part of the world adopt the use of corrosives placed inside the vagina for treatment of fibroid. We see it a lot. What does this have? What does this do? This causes a lot of mishap in such a way that there's going to be, wound created, burnt injury from this corrosive material, causing blockage of the vaginal canal. Automatically, this prevents what? Ability of a woman to initiate coitus. And this can eventually lead to what? Infertility. So, having said all this, there could also be some other conditions that could lead to abnormality of the reproductive tract. And this might actually not be something that is as an act of commission of a woman. But yes, help needs to be sought from an expert who will, rise up to the challenge and help this woman with the adequate treatment. Conditions like endometrial polyp, these are just fleshy growth within the endometrial cavity, within the womb cavity, that tends to bleed or make this woman to bleed irregularly or abnormally.
I do know that there's a lot to share,
into the
Doctor
endometrial cavity. Endometrial, the womb lining, the womb cavity is an holy sanctuary. Let me use it like that. It has to be clean and of good integrity.
All right, Doctor.
Hello? I hope I can still be heard.
One, right? I always enjoy, getting information, learning, and just, knowing more about fertility and how, there are different options for us. That is exciting. And I know you have questions for Dr. Ayobode. Please start dropping your questions. We're going to have Adeola Kingsley James after this break. We're going to have Adeola Kingsley James after this break. Thank you.
To conceive for a year or more and nothing has worked, this is not the end of your story. From blocked tubes to low sperm counts, PCOS, and age-related fertility, we've helped couples overcome them with IVF, ICSI, egg donation, and so much more. And when you do get pregnant, your next prayer becomes, let it be a safe delivery. We are with you from your first test to when your baby arrives safely. If your baby needs extra care, our neonatal intensive care unit is fully equipped to handle every delicate cases. If your child falls ill, our pediatricians offer proper diagnosis, treatment, immunization, and growth tracking, not guesswork. Women's health, including heavy periods, fibroids, hormonal issues, we test and treat, we don't just manage. From fertility to family medicine, St. Ives is close by in Okrebi, Ikoyi, Festac, Akowonjo, and Abeokuta. To book a consultation, send a WhatsApp message to 07034246413 or email us at info@stivehealthcare.com or download the TeleDoc app to speak with a doctor from anywhere in the world.
She will be speaking on healing the mind and soul in the fertility journey, releasing stress, trauma, and limiting beliefs. Her message reminds us that fertility is not only a physical journey, but an emotional and spiritual one, and that healing the mind and soul can be a powerful step forward. Please join us as we welcome Adeola Kingsley James.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Good morning. Thank you so much. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly as well.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. My soul sister, as I call you, it's such an honor to have you here. I'm going to go backstage and I will be back when you have 1 minute to go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. So thank you all for being here today, and I really want to appreciate Kiki and St. Ives for having conversations like this, because it's very important that they happen. And why? Because a lot of people are going through different things, and we're not just looking at one aspect of your life. So we're not looking at the medical aspect of it, because yes, we're three parts. We're all body, spirit, and soul. And so today I'm going to be focusing more on the soul, which is the mind. And so I'm just going to jump right into it. Now, before I dive in, I need you to do something for me, and I want you to become very open to my thought process for the next 25 minutes. That how many of you here have been told by a doctor before that all is well? Your test results are fine, your statistics, everything looks well, and looks fine, but it's unexplained. Deep in your soul, however, you know that something is blocking you, something you cannot name, something you cannot measure, and cannot explain to anyone without sounding crazy. Now, keep your hand up if you're willing to explore that something actually, what that something actually could be today. And if you're ready to know what your body might be trying to tell you, if your hands are up, you're in the right room, because you're not just about to learn something, you're also going to be aware of things, and you probably also will get some kind of transformation from it as well. And by the time we're done, you're going to understand how your mind and body are connected, and why trauma might be the missing piece in your fertility puzzle, and most importantly, how to set yourself free. Now, do you know that your body is listening to every single thought you think? And I mean every single one. I mean, your thoughts are words unspoken, and as the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So I'm going to ask you another question. What if the biggest block of your fertility isn't in your ovaries, your hormones, or your partner's sperm count? What if it's living in your nervous system, in your fight or flight system, hiding in a memory from where you were 7 years old, or wrapped, or it's wrapped around the belief you didn't even know you were carrying? And I hope today you're going to understand with me that this part or this aspect of where I'm going into is very important. So I know, and I agree that science is incredible. Medicine saves lives, but your body, however, your body holds secrets that no blood test can reveal. And today I'm going to show you how to unlock it. By the time I'm done, maybe you will understand how to now position your mind so that it serves your body better. Now, your body doesn't speak English, guys, it speaks chemistry. When you think a thought, and I mean any thought, your brain releases neuropeptides, and those are the tiny messenger molecules that travel through your bloodstream and attach to cell receptors all over your body. Dr. Candace Pert, the neuroscientist who discovered this, called them molecules of emotions. She said, and I quote, "Your body is your subconscious mind." Now think about that. Let that sink in a little bit. Your body is your subconscious mind. So when you're lying in bed at 3 a.m. and thinking, what if I never become a mother? Or you're saying to yourself, my body is broken. Or you're saying to yourself, is it too late for me? Maybe your cells are literally bathing in the chemistry of anxiety, fear, grief, and inadequacy. And here's where it gets wild. According to research from Harvard Medical School, chronic stress can suppress the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, the very system that regulates your reproductive hormones. And you know what that means? It means that your thoughts can literally turn down the volume of your fertility. Now, the good side is if your thoughts can shut it down, that means your thoughts can bring them back up and turn them back on again. So I'm going to paint a picture for you because I like to paint word pictures. I want you to imagine your body as this ancient, wise grandmother. She's been keeping you alive since you've been walking, regulating your heartbeat for you, healing your cuts, fighting off infections, all without having to think about it or you even having to worry about it. She's brilliant. But when you experience trauma, maybe sexual abuse, Maybe watching your parents fight violently. Maybe you were told by your family members or your teachers that you're too much. Maybe some even said you were not enough. This is what happened to grandma. Grandma body went into protection mode. So, trauma isn't what happened to you. Trauma is what happened inside of you when there is no resolution. And that's what Dr. Gabor Mate said. Trauma is not the bad things that happen to you, but when things happen, what happens inside of you as a result of what happened to you. And so when grandma body perceives the world is unsafe, she shuts down non-essential functions. And guess what your body considers as non-essential during a threat? One of it is reproduction. And so your body is asking, why would I bring a baby into a war zone? I'm going to share a few stories with you. I have 4 stories here of some clients and my personal story. And I'll tell you about a client of mine called Sarah. Beautiful, successful 34-year-old woman, 3 failed IVFs. Doctor said everything looked perfect on paper. But Sarah had a secret her body was keeping. When she was 8, her mother had a traumatic miscarriage. Sarah found her mother bleeding in the bathroom, crying and broken. That night, little Sarah made an unconscious decision. I'm going to say that again, an unconscious decision, which is your subconscious mind, which is your body. And the decision she made was pregnancy equals pain. Pregnancy equals losing love. Pregnancy equals danger. And fast forward 26 years after, and Sarah's conscious mind now desperately wants a baby, but her subconscious, which is where all her recall, her memory, and her emotions are established in, her subconscious was running a program called Protect Sarah at All Costs, shut down. We didn't just talk about it, we transformed it. We helped her 8-year-old self understand that story didn't have to be her story didn't have to be her mother's story. And we installed new beliefs. My body is safe, pregnancy is natural for me, and I'm designed to create life. 4 months later, Sarah has a baby, gets pregnant, she conceives. 4 months later, she sends me a picture of a positive pregnancy test. And right now, she's a healthy mother of a 2-year-old boy. Coincidence, maybe, but I've seen this coincidence happen over and over again. Now there's another client of mine, and I have fake names for them, by the way, Emma, who believed good things don't happen to people like me because she grew up in poverty. Her body heard that belief and said, okay, no baby then, and that's a good thing. And after we worked together, she shifted that belief to I am worthy of all good things, including motherhood. And what happened in 2 months? She got pregnant. There was another couple of mine, Michael and Julia, and this time they were using a surrogate, but the surrogate kept miscarrying. Turns out Michael was carrying guilt and shame from being raped as a child by a man, and his subconscious beliefs, I don't deserve to be a father because I am broken, I am ashamed. And after we cleared that trauma, their surrogate carried their baby to full term. They are now parents of twins. So your body is not broken. Your body is sometimes merely protecting or prioritizing you based on outdated information. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist and author of The Biology of Belief, revolutionized our understanding with his research on epigenetics. He proved that our perceptions and beliefs actually alter our genetic expression. He wrote, the function of the mind is to create coherence between our beliefs and the reality we experience. In other words, your beliefs literally program your cells. I'll share my own story. When I had a baby 11 years ago, I didn't know that birth was going to be as painful. But then again, I caused all of that because I listened to people. But anyways, the birthing of my child was very difficult. And the first thing I said after having her was, if I had known that pregnancy or birthing a baby was this difficult, I would never have had a baby, and I have not had a baby since then. It's 11 years now. So what am I saying? Your mind is important. Now, this is where science meets soul. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to bash modern medicine at all. IVF is a beautiful miracle that was created to support families have babies. Hormone treatment has helped countless people. Medical interventions is something absolutely necessary and maybe the only way out for some people. And I totally, truly celebrate that. However, here's what's missing. Medicine treats your body like a machine. Check the parts, fix what's broken, impute the right chemicals, get the output. But your body is not a machine. You're a complex, integrated system where mind, body, and soul have a constant conversation because we're all in three parts. A study in 2016 found that women with high levels of alpha amylase, a stress biomarker, had a 29% reduced probability of pregnancy compared to women with low levels. Another study from Ohio State University showed that women with high stress levels took 29% longer to conceive. And here's what matters the most. Doctors, honestly, they love you, but they don't have the time to ask you what happened to you when you were 10. They don't have the training to help you release the trauma or sexual assault or the grief of your mother's critical voice or the terror of your father's rage. They're looking for your follicle count, which is extremely necessary, but your nervous system is stuck in 1997, still running from your abusive ex-boyfriend or father or mother. Chinese medicine has also understood this for thousands of years, that blocked energy, which is called qi in the body, creates diseases and infertility. And so acupuncture alongside IVF increases pregnancy rates by 65%, according to a meta-analysis in the British Medical Journal. Hypnotherapy also alongside IVF increases your fertility chances by 51%. Why? Because it addresses the whole system, the energy, the blocks, the flow. And your body knows how to make a baby. Your body made your eyes, it made your liver, it made all the intricate nervous system within you that you didn't have to think about. But somewhere along the line, sometimes the signal gets jammed and the message gets corrupted. So here's what I do when I work with people, and I'll share that in a very brief nutshell. What I do combines the most effective principles of hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, NLP, and CBT, and here's why it's revolutionary. It doesn't just help you understand your blocks, it helps you rewrite them at the subconscious level where they live. Unfortunately, we don't know. And what we're all using here today is our consciousness. But the subconscious part of you carries what you do 85% of the time. And it was formed majorly between the ages of 0 and 8. And so if you think of your subconscious mind as your operating system, your conscious mind, that's the books you read, the plans you make, is just the user interface of this operating system. So you can honestly say affirmations all day. I'm fertile, I'm worthy, I'm enough. But if your operating system has a code in it that says danger, pregnancy equals pain, abort mission, the affirmations will not work. So what you do then need to do, you need to change and access the operating system. And that's exactly what I do. So we use hypnosis, not the silly kind that you think of or the ones you see on stage or magic. No, it's clinical hypnosis. And it is simply a deeply relaxed state where your critical mind steps aside for your subconscious mind to become accessible. It's almost like a floaty state right before you fall asleep. And we all fall asleep and we all go into REM states, whether we know or like it or not. And that's where memories and feelings bubble up naturally. So we go to scenes, and here are the scenes that we uncover. Sometimes it's the moment your mother said, having you children ruined my life. You were too difficult. I wish I didn't have you. The sex education class where pregnancy terrified you. The relationship where you were told you'll be a terrible mother or you're a terrible woman. The miscarriage you never grieved. I was abandoned, so I won't do it to other babies. I've seen all of these things personally through the people that I've worked with. Sometimes it's the abortion you never felt, you still feel guilty about, you never forgave yourself for. Sometimes it's the childhood where you learned love is conditional and you are not enough. And like me, I associated pain with pregnancy, and see what happened to me. So the magic is we don't just revisit the scenes, we transform them. And we bring your adult wisdom back to your child self, and we help you understand the message. We install new empowering beliefs. We command your mind to upgrade the software. And I can tell you for free, it will be the best decision you ever take in your life. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis found that hypnotherapy significantly reduced anxiety and depression in infertility patients, with measurable improvement in conception rates. So beyond research, I have watched women and men light up when they realize the power was sometimes and most times inside them all along. So your body has been trying to tell you something and you're not listening. That's just the problem, right? We externalize all these things, we don't internalize it. And so maybe your body has been trying to tell you something through unexplained infertility, recurrent miscarriages, perfect embryos that won't implant, hormones that won't balance no matter what you do, a feeling that something is off even when your tests say otherwise. And they're not failures, my sisters and brothers. They are messages from you to you. And what your body is saying to you is there's something we need to heal first. There's something we need to release. There's a safety we need to create. Louise Hay, the mother of the mind-body healing movement, taught us that every physical condition has an emotional root. Every is what she says. In her landmark book, Heal Your Body, she identified that fertility issues stem from fear, resistance to the process of life, or not trusting the process. And if you want to be very honest with yourself, I'm sure some of these things are beginning to resonate with you, and you're going back to thinking, oh, did I do this? Oh, could this be? And maybe your body isn't fighting you. And rather than you thinking that your body is, maybe it's time for you to start listening to your body. I personally believe that your baby is waiting for you guys. I personally believe that your baby is waiting for the healed you, the whole you, and the you who knows deep in your bones that you are worthy, you are safe, and you're enough. And honestly, your trauma doesn't have to write the end of your story, but you get to. Your limiting beliefs don't decide your future. You do. And your body, your beautiful, wise, resilient body, is ready to partner with you the moment you're ready to partner with it. And just sit with your body and say, what are you trying to tell me that I'm not listening to? I'm listening now. And the question isn't, can I have a baby? The question is, am I ready to become the version of me who creates, carries my baby to term, and holds him, her, or them in my beautiful hands? And I honestly believe that you are. Your body believes you are, and it's time for you to believe that you are. Let's heal your story together, and let's bring your baby home. I'm looking forward to co-creating with you, and I'm hoping that this will open your mind to seeing that there are other things that you can look at that might be blocking your fertility without just going the medical route. And I'm here to support you. My name is Adiola Kingsley James. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. When I say she's my soul sister, that's what we're talking about, right? My hands have just been moving so fast. I'm like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Wow. What an amazing, phenomenal session. Thank you so much for
I'll
always,
share
always
it with you.
giving your very best. We're so grateful. I like this. Your trauma doesn't have to be the end of your story. A lot of us are carrying traumas, baggages from way back. We have no business carrying anymore. However, it's not just by saying, right? There's a lot that comes into that. That is what Adeola has shared with us today. You can see why you need to be talking to Adeola. Absolutely. And the beautiful thing is you can get to talk to her on the TeleDoc app. Just download the TeleDoc app, search for Adeola Kingsley James. You'll be able to ask your questions. I can see all the wow and wow and wow. I know, don't worry. I mean, all as well. But imagine I get to experience this a lot of times. That is how blessed I am. I am so blessed to have her as a sister, and she's always giving value. And, I just want to say thank you so much. I know you have to run. You really can't take questions. I wish you can, but I know you have other activities. So everyone, you have
I can
two
take
activities.
2 questions before I go. I can take
Okay.
2 questions before I go.
2 questions, right? Let me see, because they will now start putting the questions together. So what I would do is I will play the next advert and just use that to get the 2 questions. You will take the 2 questions and then we'll let you go. So I will bring you back upstage in a minute, okay?
Guys, my name is Iyabo Ojo. And for those of you who have not heard about TeleDoc app, well, I am bringing it to you today. It's your one-go app that leads you straight to your favorite doctor. Yes, what does that mean? Well, this app has over 500 doctors who are specialists in different medical areas. All you have to do on this app is just to download it, register, and source for the right consultant. Now, everybody has that one thing that they would need to see a specialist for. Now, this app is that app for you. You don't have to stress yourself going to the hospital every time, wasting time on traffic. All you just have to do is just go on that app and search for the right doctor that meets your needs. Always remember that health is wealth.
Yes. So make sure you download the TeleDoc app, okay? Make sure you download it. Search for Adeola Kingsley James on the app. You will get to see her. Make sure you book a consultation, ask your questions as you are preparing for the IVF journey. Make sure you prepare your mind. Make sure you prepare your body as well. We're going to get to listen to Fumi Ajagbe, and she's going to be telling you a story. I've heard a story back to back where she talked about, how she had to tell her body, that it's time. She has tried it so many times. I can't wait for you to listen to her. But honestly, it's such a beautiful day. So how else can one handle the situation of actually letting a childhood trauma go, but somehow it keeps coming back? That question is from Instagram. Did you get the question?
Say that again. How do you let?
How else can one handle the situation of actually letting a childhood trauma go, but somehow it keeps coming back?
Okay, so my answer to that would be then there's certain parts of it that you haven't looked at. I always like to share my own story. For 40 years of my life, I didn't feel loved by my parents. I would look for love in all the wrong places. I end up in relationships I shouldn't be in, and all the works, right? I feel like maybe that's even why I might have gone the way that I went in terms of the person that I married. Now, I've done all kinds of therapy, I promise you. I did different kinds, talk therapies, all of them. But I kept on saying to myself, there's something that I'm missing. I haven't touched the reason why I don't feel loved yet. And that's why I became a hypnotherapist, because I went that way. I went and I saw somebody who did a session with me. And in one of the scenes that I went back to my mother's womb. In one of the scenes, it was very deep for me because I wanted to touch the reason. And I went back to my mother's womb, and my mother wanted me to be a boy. So I came into this world already feeling unwanted. And no talk therapies could have touched it. And until I healed that unborn child, I couldn't connect with myself. So the reason why I'm able to do some of the things that I do is because I've done a lot of deep emotional releases, spiritual work around what I do. And so I can speak from that place of depth because I'm a living testament to what I do and what I preach. So there's certain aspects that you actually haven't looked at, and that's why it keeps coming back. So the moment you do, and I also think that therapy is one time. If you have carried something for 70 years of your life, you do therapy one day, you say it should end. I mean, why don't you go to hospital one day and take one tablet and say it should finish? So it's an ongoing process, guys. It's an ongoing process
Absolutely.
because something will trigger
Absolutely.
it, and you've got to pick up on that. So that would be my answer to that.
Thank you so very much. I definitely agree with you. And someone is saying, how else can they find you? So you can talk about your page and the teledoc as well. So that would be my second question. We do have questions, but we have to run. All right.
Yes. So on just check me out on the teledoc app. Book a 30-minute session with me and let's have a conversation. Sometimes the 30 minutes is not enough, but let's start from there, right? And then I'm on Instagram as well, Adeola Kingsley James. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Adeola Kingsley James. Kingsley, Kingsley James, James. And my first name is Adeola. If you find me, I'm wearing a pink dress. I look very beautiful. You can't miss me.
I like that. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. This question, I don't know. Many couples struggling with fertility.
Throw one.
We have to
Right.
run. We have to do this real quick, but that's it. We got to run.
Okay.
Many
All right,
couples
let's
struggling with fertility carry emotional stress, fear,
Yes.
and silent pressure. How can hypnotherapy help reprogram the mind to support fertility and improve treatment outcomes like IVF?
Okay. So if you already know that you're carrying trauma, we need to go and find out what that thing is doing for you. I promise you, it would tell you, your body will. Your body is so brilliant. It knows exactly what is going on at any point in time. And you'll be surprised by the things I will show you that you will do, that your body will do naturally. You won't need me. It's because you don't have those tools and you don't know what it is. Hypnotherapy will take you back to the root, the cause, and the reason for the trauma. And it's taking you back. What it would do, it would take you back to the incident that happened, and you will relive it. Sorry, I take that back. You will review it. You don't relive it. You will review it. We will understand what you made that story mean. Because don't forget, trauma is not what happened. It's the story that you told yourself after what happened and deposited it with emotions in your limbic brain. That's what happens. So when we go back, we identify what it is and we change it, and it so gives your body safety to be able to help you with fertility. I
Wow,
promise
thank you so
you've
much,
never
Adeola.
seen it, but I promise you it works.
All right, thank you so much. I know it works. I know that I've walked this journey, and I'm just so grateful. There are lots of questions, but we have to go. Adeola, thank you so much. I know you have to run. I'm very grateful. Please make sure you download the teledoc app. Reach out, search out for Adeola Kingsley James. Reach out and book a session with her. Follow her on all the social media platforms as well. All right, bye, my soul sister. Bye. All right, guys, we've got to move.
Let's talk about fertility, because some things we believe are simply not true. Here are 3 fertility myths Nigerians still believe. Myth number 1: infertility is always the woman's fault. The truth? Fertility challenges can come from both men and women, and sometimes from neither. Myth number 2: if you've tried for years, nothing can help you. False. From medical support to IVF and advanced fertility options, hope is not lost. And myth number 3: IVF and fertility treatments are only for the rich. Not true. Today, more couples are accessing fertility care than ever before. But here's the thing. Most people don't know when to seek help, what their options are, or what truly affects fertility. That's why we're hosting an online webinar, Fertility Uncovered, secrets every Nigerian couple should know. Join fertility experts and real-life experiences as we break myths, answer your questions, and share practical steps for couples trying to conceive.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow, what a day it has been. For people saying they're just joining and they want to recap, I am so sorry. We really can't do that at this time, but you'll be able to catch a replay and you'll be able to watch everything. You can see we have lots of questions already and we have to move. Now we're going to bring up stage our amazing next speaker. Make sure you sit tight, prepare yourself because we're about to, take it one step further. I will be playing his bio now. Make sure you get yourself ready. You already know who's coming, right? All right.
Our next speaker is a distinguished leader in reproductive medicine and a respected voice in fertility care in Nigeria. Dr. Babatunde Okewale is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, fertility expert, and the Group Medical Director and founder of St. Ives Specialist Hospital Group. With nearly 3 decades of clinical experience, Dr. Okewale has helped transform fertility care in Nigeria and is credited with the successful birth of over 3,000 babies through IVF, restoring hope to families and helping reverse medical tourism through outstanding success rates. Beyond medicine, he is also a serial entrepreneur, a respected media voice, the founder of WFM 91.7, Nigeria's first radio station dedicated to women and families, and the author of The Art of Making Babies. A graduate of the University of Ibadan, the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists in the UK, and a proud member of the British Fertility Society, Dr. Okewale brings both global expertise and deep local understanding to fertility care. For this webinar, Dr. Okewale will be speaking on the truth about fertility, when to worry, when to act. Please join me in welcoming a pioneer, a mentor, and a passionate advocate for families, Dr. Babatunde Okewale.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Babatunde Okewale. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. I would leave the stage and I will be back up stage when you have 1 minute to go. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Again, my name is Dr. Babatunde Okewale, and it's a great pleasure to be partaking in this wonderful webinar on Fertility Uncovered. I'll be briefly talking on the truth about fertility, when to worry or when to act. But first, I would like to start by quickly debunking one of infertility myths, and that is, not all childless individuals or couples you see are suffering from infertility. I know that sounds strange. It's usually a very big assumption to think that all individuals or couples that are childless are infertile. Childlessness usually has a personal, a social, religious, and sometimes political significance. Now, childlessness is defined as the condition of being without children. But here's the catch. Childlessness could be voluntary or it could be involuntary. Now, what do we mean by voluntary childlessness? This usually is a consequence of having made a decision not to reproduce. And it could be due to personal, individual, or couple choice, or it could be as a result of celibacy. Now, to be childless not by choice is defined as involuntary childlessness. And it is under this category that we put infertility. Involuntary childlessness can be due to 1, infertility, death of a child, medical or gynecological reasons, lack of a partner, lack of resources, or it could be due to social infertility, such as being single or same-sex relationship. Now, having made this clear, I will now talk on one of the causes of involuntary childlessness, which is infertility. Infertility is defined as the inability to conceive despite regular and unprotected intercourse for 1 year. Now, you will see that there are three issues there: regular intercourse, unprotected intercourse, and the time duration 1 year. Now, what that means is if you've been married and you're living in London and your husband is in Nigeria and you see maybe 2 or 3 times a year and you think you are infertile, you might not be because you are not fulfilling one of the requirements or two of the requirements of those three things I mentioned: regular and unprotected intercourse and 1 year. Now, approximately 90% of normal couples in the reproductive age group will conceive within 1 year. That's the fact of attempting conception. Although infertility by itself may not threaten physical health, it does, however, has a serious impact on the mental and social well-being of the affected couples. Infertility affects millions of couples worldwide, and it is estimated that about 1 in 4 couples are having difficulty in conceiving. And the number of couples seeking medical help keeps increasing every year. The third requirement is the inside of the womb of the woman must be able to accept and be able to keep a pregnancy. There shouldn't be anything inside the womb that will disrupt pregnancy, whether it's a fibroid, whether it's a polyp, whether it's an adhesion, whether it's an infection, or whether it's a scar tissue. Nothing must be inside the womb that will disrupt pregnancy. The fourth requirement is the fallopian tubes of the woman must be able or must be open so that the eggs from the ovary of the woman can enter the fallopian tube and meet with the husband's sperm. Basically, what it means is the tubes must not be blocked. And the final requirement is the woman must be producing quality eggs every month. Now, if you see any woman or any couple who got pregnant naturally, what it means is all those 5 requirements I just mentioned happened to them in that particular month. The converse is also true. If you see any couple that comes and says they've been trying for so many years and they don't know what's going on, the essence of all investigations is to quickly check out those 5 requirements, and then you'll find an answer in them. It is only after those 5 requirements have been checked and investigated, and it is found that they are all well, that a diagnosis of unexplained infertility can be reached. And when that diagnosis is reached, there are treatment options on their own for even that. Now, from the above 5 requirements, again, you can see the various causes of infertility straight away. The first one, which is the semen problem, we call it male infertility. The second one, which is the inside, a woman seeing her period regularly so that she will know her ovulation and fertile period, can be caused by menstrual or ovulatory problem. That's number 2. The third problem, which is the inside of the womb, it could be due to uterine infertility, whether there's fibroid, polyps, adhesion, scar tissues, and the rest. The fourth problem is the tubal problem, which is tubal infertility or tubal blockage. And the last problem again is ovarian problem, which could not be making the woman to ovulate. So the causes follow those requirements. The investigations follow those requirements. Now, the tragedy of it all is this. Those 5 requirements and those 5 basically investigations to find out those 5 requirements are tests that can be done within a 1-month menstrual cycle, and you will have an answer straight away. But unfortunately, in many cases in Nigeria, and especially in the UK, in the NHS system, those 5 requirements might take years to have an answer to. You find cases where the hormonal tests have been done to check the ovary, and then the husband's semen is waiting for so long, maybe years, for are called to have cases where the hormonal has been done, tubal test is not done. So it's very important that those 5 requirements, an answer is got within a 1 menstrual cycle, 1 month menstrual cycle, so that you know exactly which way one needs to go. Now you might ask about the treatment options. The treatment options of involuntary childlessness also follows all the 5 requirements I mentioned above, and they could include infertility management, and it flows again from those 5 requirements. It could be counseling, like Kingsley told us. It could be due to lifestyle changes, like she's mentioned earlier on. It could be due to assisted reproductive techniques, such as IUI, IVF, ICSI, egg donation, sperm donation, embryo adoption, embryo donation, and adoption, and also surrogacy, as Dr. Ayambode mentioned earlier on. For many couples, the reality is being involuntary childless due to infertility can be a personal tragedy with severe psychological pain, grief, anxiety that sometimes is similar to bereavement and a depressive state. Infertility is more than a woman's problem. In fact, infertility that it has now been declared to be a disease process by WHO is the only disease that affects 2 people at a time. Many other diseases affect only the individual. If you are hypertensive, you are carrying it alone. If you are diabetic, you carry it alone. But infertility is a disease of 2 people at the same time, according to WHO. Infertility is even more than a couple's issue. That's the truth, especially in our environment. It can result in social stigma. It can cause financial stress. It can result in extramarital affairs. It can result in polygamy. It can result in sexually transmitted disease, or what we call third-party sex. It can result in children out of wedlock. And in some societies and tribes in Africa, lack of a male child is unfortunately also classified as a state of childlessness. I would briefly stop here so that we will have enough time for a lot of questions and answer. But like I said earlier on, this webinar is very timely, and I anxiously await the question and answer session. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We're very grateful. Thank you. Wow. What a session. Thank you so very much. We will be bringing you back for Q&A. But for now, on behalf of everyone, would like to thank all our speakers so far, from Dr. Anyobode to Adiola Kingsley James to Dr. Okewale. Thank you so much for sharing from your wealth of experience. We don't take it for granted. I'll bring you back upstage for Q&A. Thank you so much, Dr. All right. That was Dr. Okewale, and I'm sure that we got a lot of nuggets and information from that, right? Because definitely we're learning and we are growing. All right, so we've had 3 speakers so far. 3 speakers. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? Do you have questions? Are you dropping all your questions? Are you ready for our next speaker? Because here, we're taking it another step forward. Let me know in the comment section if you are ready for our next speaker. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. All right? I'm waiting. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I see all your thank yous. I see all your thank yous. We are excited to be here, and I'm glad that we're keeping to time. I mean, we haven't lost so much time. So we're going to be moving to the next speaker after this beautiful short break.
fertility because some things we believe are simply not true. Here are 3 fertility myths Nigerians still believe. Myth number 1. Infertility is always the woman's fault. The truth? Fertility challenges can come from both men and women, and sometimes from neither. Myth number 2. If you've tried for years, nothing can help you. False. From medical support to IVF and advanced fertility options, hope is not lost. And myth number 3. IVF and fertility treatments are only for the rich. Not true. Today, more couples are accessing fertility care than ever before. But here's the thing. Most people don't know when to seek help, what their options are, or what truly affects fertility. That's why we're hosting an online webinar, Fertility Uncovered, secrets every Nigerian couple should know. Join fertility experts and real-life experiences as we break myths, answer your questions, and share practical steps for couples trying to conceive.
You all cannot wait. I can see you have lots of questions, and that's exactly why we are here. That is exactly why we're here. We're going to take our next speaker now. Yes, I was muted. Now unmuted. Thank you so much for always calling my attention to everything. I love my speakers backstage. They are giving me ginger. They are the real MVP. And to everyone joining from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, StreamYard, wow. You all are the real MVP. I'm super excited to be here today. All right, so what do we have next? What do we have next? What do we have next? Let's play our bio so you can experience who we have next.
Funmi Ajabe is a graduate of Anglia Ruskin University, whose journey is a powerful testament to resilience, faith, and unwavering hope. After multiple IVF attempts across the United Kingdom and another European country, 6 in total, Funmi faced years of disappointment and uncertainty. But her story didn't end there. At the age of 54, Funmi chose to try once more, this time at St. Ives Specialist Hospital, and against all odds, she became a mother to triplets. Yes, triplets. Her journey into motherhood sparked a new calling. After welcoming her children, Funmi went on to study nursing and is now a fully registered mental health nurse. Today, she combines professional expertise with lived experience, collaborating with brands and advocating for emotional well-being, fertility awareness, and hope. Please join us as Funmi Ajabe shares her remarkable IVF journey, a story of perseverance, possibility, and the power of never giving up.
Yes, yes, yes. Super excited. I am so excited. I don't know why I'm having goosebumps, but I am. I've watched your story for so long. I feel like I'm a part of it. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And let me use this opportunity to say happy 60th birthday. This happened a few days ago. Happy birthday. I did leave a message, but I want to just acknowledge and just let everyone celebrate you. 60 is a big deal. And your baby is 6 years old. Wow, what a phenomenal journey. As usual, I'm going to go backstage. So you're going to dish it out, share your story of hope, resilience, and, just encouraging everyone out there listening right now, praying and hoping for the joy that you carry. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, host Kiki, for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here again, to be able to encourage people with my story. I count myself blessed and lucky that I've been able to experience motherhood. I actually thought it was never going to happen because I battled with infertility for 21 years. Yes, you heard me. 21 years. So I tried and tried and tried, and nothing happened. I had series of IVF treatments, and I've had 6 cycles of IVF treatment, 5 of them in the UK, 1 in Tunisia, and then nothing happened. I had IUI, I had ICSI, I had Clomid treatment. Name it. There wasn't anything I didn't do. Even it got to a stage that I was told that my fallopian tube was blocked, and they had to use there's a system called the dye, that they use a dye sort of. I'm so sorry, because I will be using the layman's language, the way I understand the whole thing. That's how I'm going to say it. But the experts, like the doctors in the house, they might be able to come and shed more light into whatever it is that I have said. So in order to unblock my fallopian tube, I had to go through something that they call like a dye treatment, sort of. And it's so painful. That was really, really painful. But you know what? I didn't give up. I did not give up, because you cannot give up. And that is what I'm actually advocating for, because I know what it means to wait. I had waited for 21 years to be able to have children. And I know what it is, what women go through. And I know I have been there. I have walked the walk. I have prayed. I have cried. I have fasted. There wasn't anything. I did not leave any stone unturned. So therefore, one of my vows is, if I ever get pregnant and have my own children, I will use my testimony to encourage other women out there. Now, one thing that I have also noticed is that our men, especially my race, my black people, my black race, especially Nigerians, they need to be educated. A lot of them don't even know what IVF is all about. A lot of them are not exposed to what is actually going on in the world. So therefore, I am really very happy to be part of what is happening today, because this is a way of educating people, especially the men. And I have used my story. I am on several social media platforms, and I am advocating for women to get information, to get themselves ready and equipped to seek for help. There is a lot of help out there. There is nothing that you want that you will not get out there. It is only meant for you to have the information and to know where to go to be able to access this help. So therefore, I am so happy that we are having this webinar today. So like I was saying, with my story, I didn't give up, and I will never take no for an answer. I am a very, very resilient person, and I did not give way. I did not even give room for any form of negativity. I always say to people that if you quit, you will never win, and if you win, you will not quit. So quitters don't win. So if you want to be a winner, you want to be successful, you need to be resilient. You need to continue. You need to focus on your goal. You need to know, in quote, what you really want. It's not that, for example, if I had given up hope, say after 1 or 2 cycles of IVF, I wouldn't be here today. I would have missed it. I wouldn't have been a mother. I would not have had my triplets now if I had given up hope. But I did not give up. And so therefore, I am happy that today I am in a position to be able to counsel people, to be able to encourage people, to be able to signpost people to the right direction. So therefore, when I was here, after I was actually told in the UK that they were not able to help me anymore. Yeah, I was told that they were not able to help me anymore because of my age. And I also thought it was over because I had already gone into menopause. I wasn't having my period anymore. I was already into menopause. I mean, at 54, I was already in menopause. So when my friend said to me, can you just come and try Nigeria? I said, look, there isn't anything that Nigeria is going to do for me. I already done 6 cycles here in the UK and in Tunisia. Nothing happened. Is it in Nigeria that they will now help me? What can they do for me in Nigeria? Can you imagine? I already zeroed my mind that it wasn't going to happen anymore. So, but you know, the Bible says, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Can anything good come out of Nigeria? Hey, God, do you know, up to today, I always ask God for forgiveness. Do you know, we have very good doctors in Nigeria. And so this, my friend, kept pestering me, come to Nigeria. Even though I didn't even believe, I just went. I went, I had my consultation. I saw the doctors, I saw the nurses, and I was told what to do. Do you know, only medication. I never heard of it before in my life. Even most people that I have spoken with, they have never heard of it. So that means that we need to actually go out there to educate people. I did not know that if you are in menopause, that medicine can actually bring back your period. I never heard it before in my life. Have you heard it before? Have you been told that before? I've never heard it before. So what did I do? I went and I was given medication. Do you know, distance is not even a barrier. Even this clinic, St. Ives Clinic, if you go there, they will be able to give your medication to trusted people who can actually forward the medication down to you wherever you are. Yes, 21 years I waited. I waited for 21 years. So therefore, I was given this medication and then my period came. Boom, just like that. My period came. And that period that came, yeah, is the one that gave me my triplets. Is the one that gave me my triplets. You know, I had my embryo transfer. I actually told the doctor, please, if you can do 4, if you can give me 4 embryos, I'll be happy. The doctor laughed at me. And the doctor said, no, madam, because of your age, we will not be able to give you 4. We will give you 3. And that 3, we're going to have the hope of at least 1 to survive. At least 1 of the 3 to stick to the walls of your womb. And then I accepted. And so we transferred 3 embryos. After the transfer, I stayed in the clinic for about 30 minutes. Afterwards, I was asked to go. But I was given some advice. Don't eat this, don't do strenuous work, don't do, you know. And I heeded to everything that they said to me. But do you know what? I think it was a week after transfer that I had to pack my bag and baggages, and I came back to the UK. It was when I got back to the UK that I had my pregnancy test done. Yeah, I had my pregnancy test done, and it was positive. It was like a dream. It was like a dream for me. I did 7 pregnancy tests because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that it can still happen. So I went, you know, the digital pregnancy test. I went and bought 7. And every day, every other day, I was doing the pregnancy test, and it would still tell me, oh, you are pregnant. You're 2 weeks, 2 months, 1 month and 1 week, 2 months and 1 day. You know, it kept saying that to me. However, I kept bleeding. I was bleeding. And I thought I had already lost everything. And I went to my doctor. I said, look, doctor, I am bleeding and I am pregnant. So what should I do? The doctor asked me, how old are you? I told him. And he said, where did you do this treatment? I said, I went to Nigeria. What is the name of the clinic? I told them it's St. Ives. Do you know they got in touch from UK? They got in touch with St. Ives and they asked them all sorts of questions. I'm sure they will have the record. They still have the records because I have my records with me. And I told them, I said, feel free to talk to them. Feel free to ask them any questions. So the paperwork for my treatment was actually sent to my doctor here. But do you know what? The staff, I want to talk about the staff in St. Ives. For me, they are very, very polite, very helpful. They did not even look down on me. They did not even say, oh, this old woman, what does she want? Rather, I was encouraged. Another thing that also fascinated me to St. Ives is that it's a very prayerful organization. Before anything, they'll pray. Yes, you've heard me well. They are doctors and it's a hospital, but they pray. They put God first. They put God first in everything that they did with me. And ever since, I did not look back. Do you know, I have even gone back with my triplet. I went back there. I'm sure if you check on their pages, you would have seen my videos and my pictures. The picture of my children, they are there. Now, one thing I want to say again is that we need to educate our men. We need to educate our men. One of the questions that I often get asked is that IVF babies, that they are imbeciles. I've had a lot of people say that to me, that IVF babies are imbeciles. And I'm here to declare and to say to you today, you that you're listening to me, that that is not correct. If you see my children, you will know that they are healthy babies. They are healthy babies. They are not imbeciles. So a lot of people think that IVF children are not normal children. I bet to say to you that they are normal children. My children are normal. They've got 2 hands, 2 legs. They've got 2 eyes, 2 ears. They've got everything that they need to have as human beings. They've got brains. Nothing is wrong with them. They are not disabled whatsoever in any form or shape. They are normal children. They are going to school and they are in year 1 now. So my children are normal children. Some other people say to me that my pastor said it is a sin to go for IVF. And I always say to them, are you saying if you have cancer and you go for chemotherapy, is that a sin? Are you saying seeking for help, medical help for whatever ailment that you have? Are you saying it's a sin? So I don't believe in all of that. They said to me, my pastor said this, look, see, give me the telephone number of that pastor. I would like to have a word with the pastor and let me know if it is true. Do you understand? So all these things that they say, I've heard a lot of things. So even because I have live sessions where I educate people, they ask me all sorts of questions, all sorts of unspeakable things. I've actually had somebody come to me to say to me that I was being selfish, that I was a selfish woman for having those children at the age of 54. She said to me that I was selfish, that I didn't think about the well-being of those children whatsoever. And I was so shocked. Even when I saw that comment, I couldn't even believe it. I was thinking, and this came from a woman, and I couldn't even believe it. I was wondering, why would you think like that? Anyway, to round the whole thing up, IVF children are normal children. I can vouch for St. Ives. That's the only clinic I've ever been to. I've never been to any other clinic. I have also posted some other people there, and they all have success stories, just like I have a success story. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Now everyone sees why I'm having goosebumps. I was having it all through. I first thought about the 21 years. And then I thought about your tenacity, your courage, never to give up, even when it would have been understandable. No one would judge you at that point for giving up. You have done everything in your own capacity. Your story is so, yes, Omololu says your story, Omolola says your story is so inspiring. It is inspiring. And yes, your children, Anne says your children are handsome and healthy. Absolutely. I mean, I watch them all the time. And I just want to say thank you for using your story to inspire other people. Honestly, it's not easy, to put yourself out there and use that as an assignment, that you're on a mission And your mission is to educate and share hope to people and also sensitize our men. This is a big deal. I'm looking at the comments of so many people saying, you know, they follow you on TikTok, your story has given them hope. Somebody even said your story inspired her to believe that there is a God. This is your assignment here on earth. And God is faithful. I'm just so grateful for the gift. I mean, I looked at 7 pregnancy tests. I can only imagine. Every time you do that test, I can only imagine when you hear, you know what? It's still positive. It's still positive until you brought your baby to term, delivered your beautiful triplets. What a beautiful story. What a beautiful story. We do have questions we will be taking after our final speaker. So we have one more speaker. We'll bring all our speakers up, and then we can take all the questions that we have. Thank you so much for sharing so vulnerably. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll bring you back up next for Q&A. Awesome. Wow, we are moving and we do have lots and lots of story. 53 and just delivered twins via IVF. To God be the glory. I also had over 6 cycles, went into menopause, would recommend, you know, the program for multiple cycles. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that feedback. Thank you for that feedback. All right. We have one final speaker before we start taking questions. One final questions before we start taking questions, okay? Very, very important. All right, thank you so much for staying with us up until now. My final speaker, I'm going to be playing a bio now, and we're going to be having her upstage so that we can get this started. Our story is another one you would definitely love to hear. So let's have it.
Is a powerful voice in the fertility and surrogacy space. Mrs. Judith Akinwumi is the founder and CEO of My Surrogate Twins Agency, based in Lagos. An engineer by training, Judith's journey to motherhood was not an easy one. Over 13 years, she endured 8 heartbreaking miscarriages, a journey that tested her strength, faith, and resilience. Her story took a beautiful turn when she welcomed her twin daughters, Myra and Myla, through surrogacy, an experience that transformed her pain into purpose. Motivated by her own journey, she founded My Surrogate Twins Agency in 2019 with a clear mission: to help women and families facing fertility challenges access ethical, professional, and compassionate surrogacy support on their path to parenthood. Today, Mrs. Akinwumi leads with a rare blend of technical discipline and deep empathy, championing integrity, care, and results, while helping families turn hope into reality. Please join us in welcoming Mrs. Judith Akinwumi.
Awesome. Awesome. Such an honor to have you again. I enjoyed your story the last time I heard it. It inspired me a whole lot. And I'm so glad that we have the honor of having you here with us again. You're muted, just in case you're not aware. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being here again. What an honor to have you, Mrs. Judith Akinwumi. As I've said earlier, I will be back on stage when you have 1 minute to go. So you have the floor. Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning. Okay, so I am Akinwumi Judith, the founder, My Surrogate Twins Agency. I like always leaving this picture in my workspace. It reminds me that there was once a time the children there were just a dream. I didn't really prepare today for this speech. I had some emergency, but listening to every speaker gave me what to say. The first doctor told us about of a woman in trying to conceive. So my journey was one of age. When I was younger, I married at 22. When I want to get pregnant, I just try to get pregnant and I am pregnant. And I'm pregnant instantly, no go come. But the unfortunate thing is that with every pregnancy, I lost it. Like 14 weeks gestation, and I have a miscarriage every 14 weeks. It occurred 8 times. By the 8th time, I was already in a second marriage. Like the first marriage broke up because the young man just felt he can't stay childless for life. Funny enough, this young man was older than me with 11 years. So it's always the woman, right? Okay, so I got married a second time and miscarriages continued. So there were 8 miscarriages by the time I learned of surrogacy. And that was the first time I was thinking of IVF, not just surrogacy. So when I go run my tests were superb. According to the results, my eggs were so good. And when I retrieved my eggs, I got like 20 eggs. I was able to freeze some. At that time, I was 35 years of age and they were so good. So I'm going somewhere. So we did this IVF. It was surrogacy because I was miscarriaging. There was no sense in putting these embryos back in me. I would still miscarry them. So we used the surrogates. And coincidentally, the first try, she was positive. After that, not many years later, just the next year, I tried to do another cycle. And this time my results were so bad. Not even so bad. Since the time I finished that surrogacy, I have not gotten pregnant again, like mistake. So when they told me my results were so bad at 36, 37, I didn't doubt the doctor because, like I said, I get pregnant at will before. So, of course, I agree with the doctor that age declines, the woman's fertility health declines as she grows older. So, this is my testimony that I had these babies before the eggs decline. But if they do decline, it's good that in this generation there are options for donor eggs. Okay, so back to my surrogacy journey. When I tried to do surrogacy, I had no idea where to get a surrogate. I went online. I saw some fees that I thought I could not afford. I wasn't quite buoyant then. So I decided to advertise for my own surrogate. I did advertise. I got somebody I thought was okay. We signed the agreements. We had a plan of how to do this. She quit along the way. Tried the second one. There was a similar thing. So I had to freeze my embryos. Sometimes people say when you freeze your embryos, they have a better chance at positive. I don't agree, I don't disagree. It's usually fate. So we froze my embryos until we got this right surrogates for my journey. All these experiences made me realize that that getting a surrogate and running a surrogacy journey is not something so easy for many people. And so I made it my vision then. What does it entail to run a surrogacy agency? Got a lawyer involved, started building my brand, one case after the other. So I would say in the past 6 years now, God has been faithful. We have had hundreds of success stories. We have facilities where we manage our surrogates so they live safely during the journey. We have managers who take care of their health. They do not live carelessly. Before there's an emergency, we rush them to the hospital. So we and of course, we make sure our legal documentation is intact. We do our best. Surrogacy is a gift. Imagine me. I would have still been trying to conceive up till now. And my ex would have been dead by now. So if you can afford surrogacy, if you have an open mind to it, do not let Do not let the time pass you by. Take charge of your own life. It is your life. You are the one who lives it. Don't let people say, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing this? Do what is best for you. Do what is best for you. So, okay, please come in quickly. As I was saying, that's basically my route from infertility to motherhood. I was going to show my children, but they don't seem to want to come in time. Please come inside fast, two of you. Come in, come in, come in. Come in, do not disturb the fan, come in. Okay, so, so this is Myra, this is Myla, and that is Myra. They look, come in, don't waste people's time. People say they look very much like me. So, if you use your eggs, they will look like you. Nobody remembers I was once infertile. This is my testimony. Okay, so I would like the host to come back online now. I'm going to questions. Thank you, ma'am, Mrs. Kiki. Please be going. Please be going. Please be going. Bye. Bye.
I'm busy enjoying seeing Myra and Myla. It's so nice to I want to rejoice with you. I want to thank God on your behalf. I really want to thank God on your behalf. And they do absolutely look like you. They do, and they're so beautiful. Their weaving is so nice. She was trying to show us her weaving. Really nice. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 8 miscarriages. That must have been an emotional roller coaster. An emotional roller coaster. 8 times. What a pain, according to Anne. One can only imagine, losing a marriage, going into another one, experiencing, and yes, deciding. And I'm so glad you decided because, like you said, it is your life. It is your life. You're the one that knows what you want and what to do. And I'm glad that at that point, now maybe a lot of people are getting to appreciate and embrace IVF surrogacy. But I remember there was a time in Nigeria that, oh my God, people would hide the information. Nobody wants anybody to know, like it's a sin or it's a crime. But because of what you do, the work that you do with your surrogate agency, you're able to sensitize the public. You're able to share more information. You find a mom that can help other people. And I think is a service that cannot be ever, it can never be paid for. It's an act of selflessness for somebody to give their body to carry another's child. And I feel like, we don't talk about this enough. I feel we don't talk about this enough. We don't give credit and, appreciation to those who say, you know what, if your body is failing, I would borrow you my body. That is such a beautiful thing for anyone to be able to do. Such a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for sharing. We do have questions, but of course, I will bring all the speakers back up so that we can take the questions. The joys children bring in our lives can't be imagined. The joy has no bounds. And you're absolutely correct. The joy has no bound. Yeah, so questions, but we will take it. I'm going to bring all my speakers up now so we can take all the questions. So just stay with me. Let me bring all my speakers up. All right, we have lots of questions. So I'm going to start with the question. When I drop the question, whoever the question is for would please take the question. So I'm going to try to scroll back up because we already have lots and lots of questions. We'll be taking questions from both Instagram and this platform. All right. Let's see. Pardon me. I'm just going to scroll right up. All right. I got it. Let's do this. So my first question is, does implantation have solution after failed embryo transferred, after trying for IVF twice in different centers? This question is for Dr. Okewale. Since Dr. Ayambode is not here, does implantation have solution after failed embryo transferred after trying?
Yeah, thank you so much. That is assuming that implantation was the problem. Although, after every failed IVF cycle, we call it failed implantation. But when IVF fails, basically, it could be due to three things. Number one, it could be due to the egg and the embryo that was transferred. When I use my farming analogy, that is equivalent to the seed of a farmer. The second thing is it could be due to the lining of the inside of the womb. Again, using the farming analogy, that's equivalent to the farmland soil. But there's a third part, which is the environment of the farmland. Was there a lot of rainfall in the year? Was there drought? Were there low-cost invasion in the farm? But the equivalent of that in a woman is the bodily environment. Is your body mass index above a certain limit? Are you suffering from some medical conditions that could affect what's going on inside the womb? Hypertension that is not well controlled, diabetes that is not well controlled, thyroid problem, or some antibodies that sometimes we call killer antibodies going about in the body. So every time IVF fails, those are the three areas one has to look at before one proceeds forward again. Now, if we've narrowed it down that the problem is inside the womb, basically the soil where the implantation occurs, then the imperative is to know what's going on inside the womb. And there are various ways of knowing what's going on in there. One of the best way after a failed IVF is to use a hysteroscope, that is, use a telescope to have a look inside the womb and be sure you are not missing out anything. Because a lot of the investigations we do to check the inside of the womb are indirect investigations. We use scans, we do sonohysterogram, but those are equivalent to using an helicopter to look at a farmland and saying, oh, this farmland is okay. It's different from somebody who is standing on the farmland and picking up the soil. That's what hysteroscopy does eventually. So my answer is you need to check all those three areas before you say exactly what is causing the failed implantation.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Okewale. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware that I muted myself. Thank you. I hope that answers the question. Now to my next question. I am interested in surrogacy. What are the process? What documentation do I need? That's for Mrs. Akiwumi Judith.
Okay, good day. You're interested in surrogacy. What documentation do you need? Basically, it's an agreement signed and sealed by the doctors. That is the documentation. Not the doctors, the lawyers. That's the documentation you need.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. To Fumi Ajagbe, how did you cope? And what are the coping mechanisms you used with waiting 21 years and trying multiple IVF that failed?
Thank you. How did I cope? Was it how did I cope before pregnancy or during pregnancy?
Before the
pregnancy.
pregnancy.
It wasn't easy. It was not easy. I can tell you that. It was not easy. I had to battle a lot of things from families, from friends, from church members, even from the society where I live, even within myself. I wasn't very happy within myself that I'm the firstborn in my family. Every other sibling of mine they have their children, and I was the last one. But as at then, I wasn't very happy. My parents were not happy. My mom, my dad, I still have parents. But I am happy today because this goodness, this beautiful thing, this joy happened in their lifetime. So I still have parents. I still have my mom. My mom was not even happy at all. Even it even got to a stage that I began to fight my mom. I wasn't very happy at all. So basically, what I did was I just kept believing in God. I didn't stay idle. I did not stay idle. I believed in God. I kept going. I pushed myself to doing the work of God. I believe so much in God. So I did a lot of voluntary work, even in the church. I will be the first to go to church. I will be the last to leave. I was the program coordinator in my church. I did everything that I could do. But I kept encouraging myself that one day I will have my own children. And anytime I went out and somebody used my childlessness to abuse me or to insult me, I will come back to God when I get home. I will come back to God and I will thank God. God, I thank you for letting people laugh at you, for letting people mock you through me. God, I thank you for making me childless. God, I thank you for not even listening to me. God, I thank you. So basically, what I did then was I was turning all the negative things, I was turning them into prayer points. And I took
Hmm.
everything to God. And
Hmm.
even it got to a stage that I even stopped praying. All I did was just praising God. And when
Wow.
anytime I go to church and they say, if you are looking for the fruit of the womb, please come. I realize that I will be the first out. Not only will I be the first out, I will be the oldest among all of them.
Wow.
If there were 10 or 15 people that came out, the other 14 people would be pregnant. It was just me left. So mine took
Hmm.
a very, very long time. And I know what I'm talking about. I really fought infertility. Honestly,
Hmm. But
21
see how
years
far you have
is not
come.
a joke.
To
It's not a
God
joke.
be the glory. To God be the glory. Thank you so much for sharing that. And my next question, I have lots of questions. I know we won't be able to take all. I'm so sorry, but we will take as much as we can. Dr. Okewale, sir, endometriosis, how does it affect fertility? And what is the ultimate treatment that a couple can become parents for endometriosis? Thank you. Dr. Okewale, you are muted. You are muted. Thank you. Did you hear the question? Dr. Okewale, did you hear the question? Okay, while I'm making sure I can hear me, we have a question about surrogacy. The person wants to know the cost of surrogacy. I know you won't really mention the exact details, but maybe, the kind of things that needs to be paid for. So I'll let you take that. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, after paying the IVF, which you paid to the clinic, the cost of surrogacy will be between, I am not factoring healthcare, which is antenatal delivery and all that. The cost of surrogacy will be in the range of between 5 to 10 million, not factoring any healthcare charges. That's it. That's a range.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. Let me add him back upstage. Dr. Kiwale, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you very much. The person is asking about endometriosis. How does it affect fertility? And what is the ultimate treatment for couples to become parents? Thank you.
Okay, I think the first thing for a lot of our audience is to understand what endometriosis is. Um, for most women, they know every month when they menstruate, what happens is the lining of the inside of their womb sheds and it comes out as a menstrual flow. But whilst it is doing that, sometimes some of the menstrual flow with the lining of the inside of the womb flow backwards through the tubes in what we call retrograde flow. And if some of those endometrial lining goes backwards through the tube and enters into the pelvis, attaches to the ovary, to the pelvic floor. They settle there. And what now happens is every month when a woman menstruates, those endometrial lining, those ectopic endometrial lining in the pelvis, on the ovary, in the tubes, they will bleed as well. And what happens? They don't have any escape route, unlike the menstrual fluid that flows out through the vagina. And when they bleed every month like that, they form inflammation, they form scar tissues, they form adhesions. So basically, that is what endometriosis means. Ectopic endometrium in places where it is not supposed to be. So, having said that, you will see straight away, if you have endometriosis in the tube, it can cause tuber blockage. If you have it on the ovary, it can cause ovulation problem. If you have it forming scar tissues and adhesions, it can cause a lot of problem in the pelvis. Yes, endometriosis causes infertility. Sometimes you do all the tests, the tubes are open, ovulation looks okay, and you have endometriosis, yet you are not getting pregnant. It can cause infertility. One of the treatment of endometriosis is assisted conception. So, infertility treatment. Other treatments that suppresses the endometriosis, unfortunately, might also suppress getting pregnant, because the hormones you use in suppressing them might also be the same hormone you need in getting pregnant. But one of the treatments of endometriosis is assisted conceptions like IVF and the rest. Sometimes you might need, especially if it's a very bad endometriosis, you might need surgery to separate all the adhesions and the scar tissues and the rest. But yes, endometriosis, pregnancy can occur on its own, but where it's causing infertility, IVF is one of the options that is available. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. The next question is still for Doctor. We have more questions for Doctor, as we would have expected. What might be the cause of the failure of the embryo to implant despite being of good quality?
I didn't get that question.
What might be the cause of the failure of embryo implant despite being a good quality?
Unfortunately, I can't hear the question.
Can you hear me now?
I might have to refresh and then come in again, please.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right, I put the question on the screen. You're here in two places. Okay.
So what's the
What might be
question?
the
Can you just
cause
come
of the
again?
failure of the embryo to implant despite being good quality? You still can't hear me. Dr. Okiwale,
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Can you hear me?
Okay. Because I can't. So what might make a good embryo not to implant? I think that's what the question says. Now, when we grade embryos, don't forget, are a combination of two things: the sperm and the egg, with all their genetic materials jumped together. Now, when we grade embryo, unfortunately, most of our grading is a subjective grading. It's like somebody grading all the 5 of us or 6 of us here and asking the question, which of them looks normal? The person is going to judge us on the way we look. If one of us got up and started limping, he will say, oh, that one looks abnormal. Or one of us starts squinting their eye, he will say, oh, that one is not too healthy. But the truth of the matter is, the person would never know what's going on inside of our body. Just looking at us, nobody will know which of us is hypertensive, diabetic, or has any other ailment. The same thing is what happens with embryos. We grade them based on what we know that good embryos look like. So when you see grade A, grade B, grade C, that's grading. But there's a lot going on inside the embryo that we might not be able to know. Thousands and millions of genetic material fused together. The final arbiter of whether an embryo is good or not is the inside of the womb, is the body. Once you place the embryo inside the womb, what happens is the body starts acting like an antivirus in a computer. It starts screening the embryos and sees and keeps asking the question, should I let this one go? Should I leave this one out? And that is the basis of miscarriage, even in natural conception. When people say, oh, I got pregnant and I had a miscarriage at 7 weeks, but in my next pregnancy, nothing happened. So once the body screens and sees that an embryo is not good, or there's something life-threatening about that embryo, unfortunately has a way of stopping it. Now, when we transfer, for example, if we knew that every embryo is going to be okay, we'll be transferring only one embryo at a time. But because of that uncertainty, we transfer 2 or we transfer 3, hoping that the body will pick one out of the 3. Sometimes the body picks 1 out of 3. Sometimes it picks 2. Sometimes it picks all the 3. And sometimes it plays the first one on us. One of the embryo divides inside and it becomes a quadruplet. So at that stage, once the embryo's grading is okay and every other condition is okay, the decision is that of the body. And we will never know the answer until 14 days afterwards. So that's why sometimes an embryo that looks good, when you implant it, it might not result in pregnancy. But that's just about the embryo. We're assuming every or all the other 3 parameters I mentioned earlier on in terms of the quality of the egg, quality of the sperm, which forms the embryo, in terms of the lining of the inside of the womb that implantation should occur, and the bodily environment are okay. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it did. Thank you very much. Can you hear me, everyone? Can you hear me? All right, you can hear me. Thank you very much. All right, Dr. Kiwale, can you hear me? I think the network keeps throwing him out. The network keeps throwing him out. And most of the questions are for our doctors. So let's see. I think it's back again. The network is definitely doing its number. Dr. Kiwale, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Our next question will be, what would have been the cause of unexplained infertility? We waited for 2 years before the conception of our daughter in 2018. I gave birth to her in January 2019, and we have been waiting again for 6 years.
Okay, quick one. Let me just quickly explain one thing and give a few statistics. When I gave the definition of infertility, I said infertility is the inability to conceive following regular intercourse with unprotected intercourse for 1 year. Now, what has been found is 90% of couples that there's nothing wrong with them will get pregnant within that year. Don't forget, there's 10% missing. But if we extend that definition forward, within 2 years, that figure would have become 95% of waiting couples, you know. Now, I'll give another statistics. Sperm count of a man is normally supposed to be between 20 million and 200 million. So anything within that range is a good sperm count. But there's a statistics that follow that as well. If a man had a sperm count of 60 million, which is normal, and he asks me, how long will it take for me and my wife to get pregnant? Because every other thing, every checks we've done tells us we have unexplained infertility. I would say within 1 year, you will get pregnant. But if the sperm count is 20 million, which is the lower limit of normal, and that same person asks me, how long will it take for us to get pregnant? I'll say it might take you like 3 years. If the count is 10 million and the person asks me the same question, I will say within 6 years, you'll get pregnant naturally if you decide you are not going to do anything. And if the count is 1 million, it might take 12 years. Now, imagine a man, I'm not saying this is the situation in this particular case. Imagine a man with 20 million sperm count who got pregnant within 2 years. And then they wait maybe another 3 years before they have their next child. Unless the man checks his semen or the couple checks the semen, they might never know what's going on, you know? So those are the kind of things that happen in unexplained infertility. In unexplained infertility, the assumption is every test possible has been done and there's nothing wrong. But one thing about IVF, if I might quickly add, is apart from the fact that IVF results or is therapeutic, it gives people babies, it's also a diagnostic procedure. There are things we see during IVF that a couple might never know in their life unless they went through IVF. You might see the egg and see a good sperm and mix them together, and then that might be the first time you are realizing that the sperm does not have fertilizing capacity. It does not fertilize the egg. But if you are just doing semen analysis alone and you stay there, what you will be told is unexplained infertility. Sometimes you might see big, good follicles on the scan, but it's until you retrieve those follicles that you might realize that they are just empty follicles, that there are actually no eggs inside. So that's the diagnostic aspect of IVF. So some people say unexplained infertility means you've not exhausted all the investigations. There might be something lurking in the corner. So that might be responsible for the spacing in time before you get pregnant at each occasion. 2 years, then another 3 years, or another 6 years. I hope again that answers the question.
All right, thank you very much. My next question is from Mommy 3. I know you responded to this while you were talking, but it is a question. What was it, just God, or you took the right medication and proper monitoring of your body before you got pregnant?
We cannot rule out the God factor in whatever it is that we do in life. The God factor is there, and you cannot debate about it at all. However, I was also, because I've already had previous IVF cycles, so I know what I needed to do. For example, you cannot be overweight and then go for IVF treatment and you think you're going to get the best out of that treatment. So if you know that you are overweight, you need to lose weight. So what I did, because I am overweight, what I did then was to have a crash keto program. I had a crash keto program, and that brought my weight down a lot. I was a size 22, but by the time I went for my treatment, I went down to like say size 18. Actually, by the time I even had my babies, I was size 16. So it's just after the babies now that I now began to add more weight. So you need to check what you're eating. You need to check what you do. You need to go to the right people that will give you advice, and they will give you the medication, the proper medication. Do not self-medicate. Do not self medicate. And there are also some other vitamins that you can take. Here, they would, if you go to your doctor, your GP will tell you you need to take pregnant care, you need to do this. There are a lot of vitamins that you can actually take as well. So that was what I did on my own part. That was what I
All
did.
right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Fumi Ajagbe. Very grateful for that response. We do have a lot of questions. We have just 6 more minutes before we round up because I think we're taking 30 extra minutes, but for a good cause. What I would try to do is, what causes low sperm count in a patient that doesn't drink or smoke? And what is the way out? This is for Dr. Okewale. Thank you.
One of the big low causes of sperm count is what we call idiopathic. We don't know why. We can do all the investigations in this world and just find out that the man's sperm count is low. It's just like saying, why do some people have low haircuts or their hair is not as grown as other people? Idiopathic, genetic makeup. But having said that, sperms are produced inside the testes. And anything that disrupts the sperm production in the testes and its delivery to the prostate and seminal vesicle will cause low sperm count. Anything that will block that passageway will cause low sperm count, and it could be due to infections. A lot of infections or sexually transmitted disease of the past, like gonorrhea and the rest, they're very obvious. So people quickly treat it. But the kind of sexually transmitted disease that is around these days is called chlamydia. It doesn't come with symptoms. It doesn't come with pain or anything like that until it has done the damage. And that's a chronic infection that can cause blockage of tubes in the testicular tubes and result in low sperm count. There are various other causes. Heat, excessive heat around the area. That's why we usually ask people to not wear very tight pants, all those skinny jeans and the rest. They generate heat in the testes, and the testis is very sensitive to heat. That's why it's outside of the body in the scrotum, unlike the ovary in the woman that is inside the body. So low sperm count can be due to quite a lot of things. Environmental issues, smoking, if you work in a chemical plant, if you work in the radiology department and you don't protect yourself well, radiation, so many things. But the most important thing is first to do your semen analysis and let the doctor interpret it for you. From there, other investigations might come in. So the causes are myriads, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okewale. What is the cause of failed IUI after every procedure went well?
Again, like I said earlier on, IVF can be a very diagnostic procedure. Basically, what we do during IUI is we give drugs to make a woman produce eggs, which we monitor on the scan. We assume that the follicles we see on the scan contains eggs. And during the fertile period, we take the husband's sperm, wash it up, and inseminate it inside the womb. Our assumption is that once the sperm is close to the egg, which is IUI, intrauterine insemination, they will meet each other and fertilize. It works in a sizable number of clients. But if you do IUI 3 times and you follow the protocol properly and it does not work, I think you should just not continue doing it. It's time for IVF. Because IVF might actually diagnose why it's not working. Like I said earlier, what you see on the screen, on the scan, showing that you have a lot of eggs, might actually not be true by the time those follicles are withdrawn. There are many times when you think when you stimulate a woman, you think you are going to get 15 eggs based on the number of follicles you see on the screen. But when you retrieve, the embryologist might come back and say, I saw only 10 eggs. And out of the 10 eggs that I saw, 7 are matured eggs, 3 are immature, some are over mature. There's no way during IUI for you to have all those information based on what you are seeing on the scan. And like I said again, there are situations where the eggs are now on the dish to fertilize with the husband's sperm that was normal during the IUI. Then you now find for the first time that the sperm does not have fertilizing capacity. Rather than IVF, then we now have to resort to ICSI. That is, we inject the sperm directly into the egg. We help the sperm to fertilize the egg. So those are the kind of diagnostic things that come out in IVF as opposed to IUI. So if you've done IUI 3 times and it's not working, don't keep just repeating and repeating. It's time to go for IVF. So those are some of the things that will happen and not make IUI work.
Thank you very much. We're going to round up now. I'm going to go to all my speakers to share their platform, take the final question for each of the speakers. We have multiple questions for Funmi Ajagbe. A lot of them are curious to know if you had donor egg used. We've had multiple questions asking, was it your egg? Was it donor egg? And all of that. If you would like to respond to that, you don't have to if you don't want to. But if you would like to respond to that, please do, and then share your social media platform so that we can finish with that. Thank you.
I'd like to respond to that question.
Please go ahead.
And my answer is, of what use will it be for whoever is asking whether I have used my own eggs or I have used donor eggs? The most important thing is I have children. So I leave it with the individuals. If you want to take it that I use donor eggs, it's up to you. If you want to take it that I used my egg, it's equally up to you. That is
That's right.
so personal to me. All I know is, and what I have been teaching, what I've been telling people, is that if you are not ready, or you think you have problems, or you're not ready, go and freeze your eggs. You have the opportunity to freeze your eggs while you're still young. So if you freeze your eggs, you can use them whenever you're ready. And I always make example of someone that I know on social media that actually, even not only did she didn't even freeze eggs, she froze embryo. And the question now is, how can you freeze embryo? That baby will not be a good baby. That baby will not be this. We need information. We need to be educated. And this is what I always say to people. So basically, the bottom line is, it doesn't matter whether I've used donor egg, whether I've used my own eggs. The most important thing is that I'm happy I have my children. I don't want anybody to come and start spoiling my mind. Oh, you use donor eggs, so those children are not yours. Oh, you use your eggs. How come the children don't look like you? Social media, we've got to be very, very careful. So I really don't care.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. How can we find you for those that want to follow you?
So you can find me on TikTok, Mommy3. I'm Mommy3. Just type Mommy3, you'll see me there. On Facebook, I'm Funmi Ajagbe. On Instagram, and Ajagbe Funmi. And on Thread, I'm Ajagbe Funmi. So I'm everywhere. There's no way you want to see me that you won't find me. I'm everywhere.
Thank you very much, Funmi Ajagbe, for sharing. And yes, your joy is yours and your joy shall be permanent. Thank you so
Amen.
much for sharing that
Thank
information.
you.
All right, so next is for Akiwumi Judith. I know you mentioned this earlier. For you, everyone just wants to know, what is the process? I want to come home from outside Nigeria. So we have multiple questions, and so that's why we waited so we can see the questions that a lot of people are asking. What are the protocols to follow for surrogacy? I am outside Nigeria. We have a couple of people are saying they're outside Nigeria. What is the process of taking the child out of Nigeria after delivery? And once you're done with this, please share your social media platform and we call it a wrap for you as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So concerning the process of taking the child outside, each country has its own requirements. It's up to you to find out the requirements of your country. You can get it through your embassy website. We have lawyers. You also bring your lawyers. We collate the documents for you. St. Ives also gives you the ones that relate to them, that you did your care with them. It's straightforward, especially if you have papers for your country. Straightforward, get the documents from us, from St. Ives, from the surrogate, which will help you get ID cards and such things. Fill them in your embassy. It's usually straightforward. Okay, so our handles, My Surrogate Twins on most social media platforms. Then on Facebook, you can also try Akinwumi Judith.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. We really appreciate you, Mrs. Akinwumi Judith. Thank you so much for sharing and being so vulnerable and, sharing information. I'm not sure if you're on Teledoc as well. I know at one point you were supposed to be on Teledoc. Can we find you on Teledoc as well? If we can't find you on Teledoc, you have to be on Teledoc. You have to be on Teledoc. So, okay, so she's on Teledoc, right? So your name there is Akinwumi Judith, is that correct?
My Surrogate Twins.
My Surrogate Twins. So download the Teledoc app. You would find Mrs. Akinwumi Judith as My Surrogate Twins. You can do all your consultation, make all your inquiries, start all your processes. It's a video consultation and it's so seamless. So, I want to encourage everyone, download Teledoc app today and look for all your favorite doctors on that app. You can have your consultation, ask all your questions because we're not allowed to give personal contact. But with the Teledoc app, ask your question. You can upload your documentation, your test results. You can do all of those things and, you can be referred to the right people in their team that would help your journey. Thank you so much, Mrs. Akinwumi Judith. Now, to Dr. Okewale, we have lots of similar questions as well. We still have lots of questions. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take all. In fact, we can't take any more. But what we've done is also collate to see. It's true that someone can get pregnant at the age of 61. All right, so you take that as you're taking the other one. Somebody is asking what the cutoff is for IVF and everything like that. But one question that we have a lot is, if I'm in the UK, if I'm outside Nigeria, if we're taking all the various locations people are dropping it from, how long will the process take? If I need to come to Nigeria, how long do I need to spend in Nigeria? So how many months do I need to come to Nigeria? I think we have a lot of question about what the process, whether they are in Nigeria or they are not in Nigeria. What is the process, right? What is the process on doing IVF? So please, I'll let you take that.
Okay, thank you so much. So the typical IVF process starts on the day you start your period. So if you have a regular period, the day you start your period is your day 1. If you are using your own egg, on your day 3, we'll start you on the injections. What the injections is supposed to do is to make you produce a lot of eggs. You will take the injection for 10 days. That will take you to day 12. We'll be monitoring the growth of the egg, of the follicles on scan on your day 8, day 10, and that's day 12. By your day 15, the eggs will be ready to be harvested. So we will retrieve the egg through ultrasound scan on day 15. And that's when we will need your husband's sperm. And that's the day the fertilization would occur, which is called in vitro fertilization or ICSI, day 15. By your day 20, the blastocyst is already formed. We will transfer the embryo back to you. You rest for 30 minutes or that day, and you can fly back the next day. So you will see straight away, from the day you start your period to the day the embryo is transferred, is roughly 3 weeks. But what a lot of our diaspora clients do, especially the ones that their period is very regular, is either they arrive maybe a day or two before their period is due to start, do all the little investigations they need to do before the period starts, and immediately their period starts, we go on the process, 21 days. Or for some others, what we do is we try and get their injections over to them there, or their drugs over to them. They will start the injections. I mean, our fertility coordinators will be in contact with them. They will start their injections while they are still at their base. But we expect them in Nigeria roughly by their day 8 or day 9 because of the monitoring. You will see from that one straight away that they've taken away like 8 or 9 days out of the 21 days I said. So anything between 10 to 14 days, they've already they arrive in Nigeria, get what they need to do, and go. It's even easier for someone who is using a donor egg, because all we do in a donor egg is we are preparing the inside of your womb. So we will send across the drugs, and you can get to Nigeria maybe on your day 10 or day 12, and by your day 20, you get the embryo transfer, just 10 days. But all these things that I've said that look simple, you have to be in touch with a fertility coordinator who will help you with all the logistics, answering your questions, telling you to take this, that, until we see you in Nigeria. So within 3 weeks, all the whole process should have been done. And this is subject to, we assume you've done all the investigations, you've downloaded them, we've seen some, the ones that needs to be done, we do it as quickly as you arrive in Nigeria. I hope that answers the questions.
Thank you very much. But you haven't responded to the age limit for
Okay,
IVF
now,
in St. Ives Hospital. Thank you.
so Lagos State has a law. Well, I won't call it a law because it's not been passed by the Lagos State Assembly. But there's a general rule in Lagos that anyone below the age of 55 should not be given IVF. That is in Lagos State. It doesn't apply in other states in Nigeria. In the UK, where the government subsidize the IVF, I think their cutoff age is 40 because they are the one going to pay. But having said that, this is where somebody, if you are paying out of your pocket,
42, Fumi Ajagbe says 42.
good, yeah. But if you are, that is for government funded, and that's why you find a lot of women in the UK going to Cyprus, going to Italy, and other places. You know, if the government is not going to pay your fees, government has a right to determine what your age should be by the time they are paying for you. But if you are self-funding, it's your fundamental human right, as long as you are healthy, to have an IVF at any age. But having said that, we all know that as a woman grows older, some issues start happening: hypertension, diabetes, and the rest, and all the other chronic medical illnesses. But having said that, again, I can see a 30-year-older and tell the person that I'm not going to do IVF for you based on what I see in terms of her health. So health is the most important thing, truthfully. So truthfully, a 60-year-old woman can have IVF as long as she's healthy and she's self-funding herself. The question is, where will she have it done? Like I said, there's a law in Lagos State. Not a law, because it's not been passed by the Lagos State Assembly. It's just a general agreement among fertility doctors that, look, don't let's do more than 55 years old. There's no law nationally or in other states. But each couple is treated individually. Everything in life is individualized. You know, like I said, I can see a 20-year-older who has a heart problem, and I'll say, no, IVF is not for you. I'm not going to offer it for you. And yet you can see someone who is 60-year-old, strong, healthy, and they are good to go for IVF. Again, having said that, the question still remains, why is it women that are attacked in terms of age. A 90-year-old man who has a baby, nobody reminds the 90-year-old man that he's too old to have a baby. I mean, in terms of taking care of the baby. But it's a uh, I don't know. There's a little bit of bias there, you know. But like I said, everything is individualized. You come to the clinic, you are assessed anywhere in the world, Italy, Cyprus, Turkey, and the rest. You are an individual. They check your history, no heart problem. You are healthy, and everything is okay. If you are good to go, you are good to go. So
Thank
that's
you
as
very
far as that.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That really answers the question. And this brings up, is it Teladoc or Teledoc? Teledoc. Teledoc app. Teledoc app, not Teladoc. You won't find Nigerian doctors there. Focus on Teledoc app only. Teledoc, right? To everyone who registered, we will definitely send you the link as well. When you download the Teledoc app and register, find your doctors. Just type, you would put their names, and then you will find, it will bring you the list, or you can just use gynecologist or pediatrician and stuff like that, and it will bring you the list. Yeah, so they're asking for the link. We will do that. Text him, please. Note that we will send the link to everyone as well. I'd like to say a very big thank you to all my speakers and all the audience. You guys are phenomenal. You are the real MVP. Yes, this is correct. Teledoc app, I'll put it on the screen. Teledoc app, that is it. That is absolutely correct. On the screen as well, you will see the hotline number for St. Ives Hospital for antenatal, delivery, immunization, pediatrics, IVF. The number is scrolling right on the screen. We'll also be sending an email, so please make sure you look at your email. We'll send you emails, would respond to all. We've also decided at back end that all the questions we're not able to take, don't worry. We're going to create a flyer of each of the questions and we'll respond to it. So make sure you are all staying true on our social media page. We'll take all the questions because all your questions are valid and we want you to have responses to all your questions. We just don't have time. We promised our speakers one, but this coconut head of a speaker, I've turned your 1 to 146. I'm so sorry. It's just that, you know, when I see these questions, I'm like, let's take these questions. So I'm so sorry. I apologize to all our speakers, but you guys are cool like that, right? I can see that you're smiling. You're cool like that. Thank you so much. I'm truly, truly grateful. I want to say thank you to all our speakers. Like I said, thank you to all the audience that we have from Instagram, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. I'd also like to say a very big thank you to my team. Oh, the team has been phenomenal. They've been working on this webinar to give you a very beautiful experience since November. And here we are with over 1,200 signups. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. To the entire St. Ives team, thank you. We're going to make sure we send this link to everyone. In case you came in late, you missed anything at all, you will catch a replay and you would be able to watch it. You can also drop your questions by email. We would respond to your questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Would like to know what your takeaway is. So when we send you emails, please, 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 please make sure you give us feedback when we post. Make sure you respond. Let's know what you have, you know, what your takeaway from this is. How often should we do this? We're already seeing questions. When is the next webinar? Let's go and drink water. Let's go and drink water first because we've been working back to back. We will definitely have another webinar before the end of the year, but it's something that needs proper planning, okay? Proper planning. And yes, I want to encourage everyone, download Teledoc app. Make sure you have a one-on-one with all the doctors that you want to, you know, talk to, because I saw some questions. Oh, they gave, he was so, they gave Fumi Ajagbe medication for a period to come. I've seen a couple of questions, and I just want to address this. IVF treatment is personal. Because they gave her medication does not mean that is what you need. It is not a generic treatment. Just like Dr. Okewale has said, it is personal, based on your need, based on where you are, based on your health, based on your age, based on the investigations that have been done. It is not a one shoe fits all. You know, Dr. Ayobode has said so. Dr. Okewale has said so as well. And even Fumi Ajagbe mentioned that as well. It's not one shoe fits all. Everything has to do with you as a person. Be sure that if you go through any treatment in St. Ives, we are doing tailored program just for you. I've seen some people say, oh, they've tried it once, it didn't work. We always say that IVF is not 100% anywhere in the world. You hear Fumi Ajagbe say she has tried it 8 different times in the UK, where's the other one? In Tunisia, right? And before she tried in Nigeria. So IVF is not 100%. The doctors will give their very best. They will do what they can in their own capacity. And then we pray that your body receives it. And we also pray that God, and that's why Fumi Ajagbe says, we cannot take away the God factor. So everything comes together. If you've tried it and it didn't work, don't give up. That's what she said. Don't give up. Keep trying. Another question that I've seen multiple times is when IVF is going to be subsidized. IVF in St. Ives Hospital is subsidized. Go compare it with so many other hospitals. You will see the gap difference. It is subsidized. However, if you have, for people who are treating, for example, cancer, they find money, they treat it, right? For people who are treating different ailments, when you need to do the treatment, you find the money and you do it. If you know that you want to try IVF, you have to try what you can to make sure you do it. We also know that there are some banks that fund IVF treatment. Check out, research, find the banks that can help you with the treatment. There are so many options. There are some NGOs as well that support and subsidize IVF. But we will continue to give you the best service. We will continue to do what we can in our own capacity. And I just want to use this opportunity to say thank you to the entire St. Ives team, and especially Dr. Okewale, for subsidizing IVF in Nigeria. The hospital itself has received a lot of attack because of this subsidized treatment, but he has refused to budge. He keeps saying, you know what? Everyone is our fundamental human right for everyone to have the opportunity to become parents. And because of that, we'll continue to do everything that we can. The cost of treatment, the medications, everything that the process takes is not cheap. It is not cheap anywhere in the world. But, you know, we keep subsidizing. So we want to say thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Dr. Okewale, for accepting to live your purpose and to support the world and to make sure, you know, we call him father of many nations. Everywhere we go, everywhere I go, I hear people say, these are your babies, these are your babies, these are your babies. And God is just so good. So make sure to do what you can. Yes, we have more questions for Surrogate, more questions for Mommy 3, more questions for Dr. Okewale. Please download the TeleDoc app. Follow the social media platforms for all the doctors and all the speakers. Ask your questions. We'll take some as much as we can and we'll respond to it on the page. This is me saying thank you to everyone because I got to sign out. Thank you and God bless you all. And I pray that the Lord will meet us all at the point of our needs. Thank you and take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
What if the answer to your longest prayer is a hospital you've driven past for years? For over 29 years, that's exactly what St. Ives has been to thousands of Nigerians. The hospital where they finally got pregnant, delivered safely, and got answers they couldn't find anywhere else. At St. Ives Specialist Hospital, we don't give false hope. We offer real care that has helped over 5,000 families start their journey, even after others said that it was impossible. If you have been trying to conceive for a year or more and nothing has worked, this is not the end of your story. From blocked tubes to low sperm counts, PCOS, and age-related fertility, we've helped couples overcome them with IVF, ICSI, egg donation, and so much more. And when you do get pregnant, your next prayer becomes, let it be a safe delivery. We are with you from your first test to when your baby arrives safely. If your baby needs extra care, our neonatal intensive care unit is fully equipped to handle every delicate cases. If your child falls ill, our pediatricians offer proper diagnosis, treatment, immunization, and growth tracking, not guesswork. Women's health, including heavy periods, fibroids, hormonal issues, we test and treat, we don't just manage. From fertility to family medicine, St. Ives is close by in Okwebi, Ikoyi, Festac, Akowonjo, and Abeokuta. To book a consultation, send a WhatsApp message to 07034246413 or email us at info@stivehealthcare.com or download the TeleDoc app to speak with a doctor from anywhere in the world.
Hello guys, my name is Iyabo Ojo, and for those of you who have not heard about TeleDoc app, well, I am bringing it to you today. It's your one-go app that leads you straight to your favorite doctor. Yes, what does that mean? Well, this app has over 500 doctors who are specialists in different medical areas. All you have to do on this app is just to download it, to register, and sort for the right consultant. Now, everybody has that one thing that they would need to see a specialist for. Now, this app is that app for you. You don't have to stress yourself going to the hospital every time, wasting time on traffic. All you just have to do is just go on that app and search for the right doctor that meets your needs. Always remember that health is wealth.
Imagine a world where your dreams of starting a family become a reality. Here at St. Ives Specialist Hospital, we've made that dream come true for over 5,000 families who once felt hopeless after hearing impossible from countless doctors. We take pride in our stellar reputation for groundbreaking fertility success, exceptional medical care, and a warm family-first approach that envelopes you in comfort and support. Our journey began here at our head office in Ikeja, located at 12 Salvation Road, Okwebi. We've expanded our reach to the island. Come visit us at 6 Maitama Sule Street, Ikoyi for the same expert care in a calm, personalized environment. Festac family, we are here for you too. Drop by our location at number 165 Janet Fademi Basin Street, where family in Amu Ward Dolphin trust us for high-quality, accessible care tailored to their unique needs. If you're in Akowonjo, don't hesitate to swing by at 129 Akowonjo Road. We are proud to serve families throughout Alimosho, Egbeda, and the surrounding neighborhoods. And for our friends outside Lagos, we haven't forgotten you. In Abeokuta, you can find us at number 3 Olatunde Abudu Close, Panseke, providing comprehensive care to families in Ogun and beyond. With St. Ives, quality care is always within reach. Ready to take the next step? Booking a consultation is easy. Send a WhatsApp message to 070-3424-6413 or email us at info@stivehealthcare.com or download the TeleDoc app to schedule a video consultation from anywhere in the world today. Let's make your dream of parenthood a beautiful reality together at St. Ives.
What if the answer to your longest prayer is a hospital you've driven past for years? For over 29 years, that's exactly what St. Ives has been to thousands of Nigerians. The hospital where the family got pregnant, delivered safely, and got answers they couldn't find anywhere else. At St. Ives Specialist Hospital, we don't give false hope. We offer real care that has helped over 5,000 families start their journey, even after others said that it was impossible. If you have been trying to conceive for a year or more and nothing has worked, this is not the end of your story. From blocked tubes to low sperm counts, PCOS, and age-related fertility, we've helped couples overcome them with IVF, ICSI, egg donation, and so much more. And when you do get pregnant, your next prayer becomes, let it be a safe delivery. We are with you from your first test to when your baby arrives safely. If your baby needs extra care, our neonatal intensive care unit is fully equipped to handle every delicate cases. If your child falls ill, our pediatricians offer proper diagnosis, treatment, immunization, and growth tracking, not guesswork. Women's health, including heavy periods, fibroids, hormonal issues, we test and treat, we don't just manage. From fertility to family medicine, St. Ives is close by in Okwebi, Ikoyi, Festac, Akowonjo, and Abeokuta. To book
Let's talk about fertility, because some things we believe are simply not true. Here are 3 fertility myths Nigerians still believe. Myth number 1. Infertility is always the woman's fault. The truth? Fertility challenges can come from both men and women, and sometimes from neither. Myth number 2. If you've tried for years, nothing can help you. False. From medical support to IVF and advanced fertility options, hope is not lost. And myth number 3, IVF and fertility treatments are only for the rich. Not true. Today, more couples are accessing fertility care than ever before. But here's the thing. Most people don't know when to seek help, what their options are, or what truly affects fertility. That's why we're hosting an online webinar, Fertility Uncovered, secrets every Nigerian couple should know. Join fertility experts and real-life experiences as we break myths, answer your questions, and share practical steps for couples trying to conceive.
Did you know that 1 in 6 couples struggle with infertility? Yes, 1 in 6. And yet, many couples suffer in silence, confused, blamed, or misinformed. Some are told, just relax, it will happen. Others hear it's a woman's problem, and many believe fertility treatment is only for the rich or the desperate. But what if most of what we've been told about fertility is simply not true? What if the real issue is lack of information, delayed action, and powerful myths that keep couples stuck? Fertility challenges are more common than we think, and help is available when you know the right questions to ask. And that's why we're bringing you an important online conversation, Fertility Uncovered, secrets every Nigerian couple should know. A live webinar where we'll break myths, explain fertility challenges, explore IVF and other options, and share practical, honest advice for couples trying to conceive. If you're trying for a baby, if you've been trying for months or even years, or if you just want clarity and answers, this conversation is for you.
Let's talk about fertility, because some things we believe are simply not true. Here are 3 fertility myths Nigerians